A new study published in Mass Communication and Society and led by a senior researcher at the University of Pennsylvania surveyed 1,232 adults and tested their knowledge of campaign finance from a variety of sources. And they found that, quote, the Colbert Report not only increased people's perceptions that they knew more about political financing, but significantly increased their actual knowledge, and did so at a greater rate than other news sources, including CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and even broadcast evening news. Somehow, I told you so doesn't even cut it. This is not surprising. A lot of people are saying it's surprising. No. It's not surprising. What it is depressing. Okay? I know that right-wingers and people on Fox, O'Reilly does this all the time. He calls Jon Stewart's audience the stoned slackers. That's what he calls them. Well, that's interesting because there was another study in 2012 that said that they know much more than people who watch Fox. Jon Stewart's viewers know much more. In fact, there was another study that said that people who watch no news know more about the news than people who watch Fox News, because Fox just lies so much, and they're so wrong all the time. Okay? But look, what this shows you is that these comedians, while yes, they're making you laugh, they're telling jokes, they're being funny, sprinkling a little bit of dick humor, a little bit of fart humor every once in a while, but they're actually talking about some serious stuff. And they're actually pretty goddamn substantive. You know, that's why I actually kind of get mad at Jon Stewart whenever he talks to people in traditional media, and whenever they try to bring up an issue with him and he says, look, I'm a comedian. And I'm like, no, don't even do that. Say, yes, I'm a comedian, but I still do a better job than you. I would love for him to say that because, again, the studies back it up. One in 2012 that said people that watch his show know much more than Fox News. Now we learn people that watch the Colbert Report know more than any other mainstream media outlet. But I guess the main point is that this isn't necessarily a story on how good Colbert and Jon Stewart are at getting information to people. What I think it is more is a denunciation of how terrible old media is. You know, I mean, we've gone over this so many times, man, but what is Fox News? The Republican arm of media. What is MSNBC? The Democratic arm of media. What is CNN? The establishment arm of media that always does 50-50 journalism. Always give equal credit and equal blame to Democrats and Republicans and try to be vanilla and don't say anything interesting. And by the way, they all have the sensationalism bias also. So they'll always sprinkle in stories about Kim Kardashian or some shit in the middle of covering political stuff to try to get ratings, because that's what they're focused on is their ratings. And they still suck at even getting that. So you have a mainstream media that they're based on terrible models that don't care about truth. They don't care about facts. They don't care about journalism or reporting. And what you have is a comedian in Jon Stewart and a comedian in Stephen Colbert that are well-read. You know, they actually read what's going on in the world, and they take things that they find interesting and substantive, and they find a way to make jokes out of these things, and that's why people get much more information out of their shows than out of the traditional outlets. So, again, I don't find this surprising. It's certainly depressing, but I don't find this surprising. And either way, let's give credit where credit is due to the great Stephen Colbert and the great Jon Stewart for, unfortunately, being some of the best remaining pseudo-journalists on TV.